All right, everybody. As usual, I am stoked for the interview. Singer, songwriter, and producer Grimzlee. What's going on, man?
How's it going, man? I'm appreciate I appreciate you bringing me on, and
Yeah,
this is my
man.
first ever interview like this. I'm excited to do it. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, let's go, bro. Let's do it. So I see you got quite a following, since I believe it was you started like going solo recently.
Well, I'm started making my own music. Or I put out my first song, "Breaking Me," on my birthday last year, April 15th. And that was my first real song
Yeah,
as Grimzlee and everything. And it started doing well. And then I put out the next one, Miss Reaper, like 3 or 4 months
we're
later.
gonna
And
get into
you know,
that. I love that song.
yeah, yeah, that one got some TikTok traction and everything. And then I've just done more and more, and
Hey,
got a new one coming out soon.
mad props, man. That's catchy. That's catchy as hell.
I appreciate
So
it, man.
tip of the whiskey to that. But where are you from? And you were in a metal band.
I still am. Oh yeah, we're called Atrial. But yeah, I'm from South Carolina. Born and raised, uh, small town called Hartsville.
Mm.
I mean, I wanted to be in music pretty much my whole life, and I went and got a music industry degree in college, and
Wait, that's a thing?
you know,
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
Nowadays,
dude,
people just go like this and like, you know.
yeah, it's a bit of a thing. I promise. It was, oh my gosh, but I had to move to Nashville to do anything with it. So
Well, yeah, I
I
hear
moved.
that. I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Um, through POA and whatever that not whatever, but you know what I mean. Like these people that I talk to, they're Nashville heavy, which is cool.
Hmm.
I respect the grind. I mean, that's where to go to get, to get your pub. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's mostly country, man. I mean that's just part of Nashville. But the thing is, I mean, you really have only three choices whenever you want to work in music, and that's New York, Los Angeles, and Nashville. I didn't exactly grow up rich, so New York and LA were just not really on the table. And Nashville is also a little closer to home, and it's a southern town too, kind of. So
Mm,
I felt like that was gonna be a good mesh for me.
yeah. Did you start going to the local scene like before Nashville?
So, what do you mean, like going to the local scene
Like,
in
would you play like in open mics? Would you do, you know what I mean?
No, well, for my band Atrial, like we played everywhere, mainly in South Carolina. And I mean, that's a whole thing. But yeah, that the local scene in South Carolina isn't
Yeah.
as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But you have to go to Greenville or Charleston, and we're not from either of those spots. We're from a really small
Hmm.
town where there is no music scene. So, but if you go to those places, it's kind of popping off.
Oh, so you just
A lot
jumped
of
right
hardcore.
into you didn't do any solo stuff before the band, right? You did band and then solo.
Yeah, well, I
Okay,
mean,
that's
we've
cool.
we've we've been jamming together since we were like 16. Like, we've always been buds, and we're still writing music, and we're still coming out with more music later this year in the fall.
Yeah.
A whole year's worth of music. Right now we're writing through the summer, and then this fall we'll just every 6 weeks we'll have a new
Hmm.
song out, and Grimzlee's the same way. It's
Yeah.
gonna be ongoing forever.
They're all good, but pick the highlight of all highlights of Atrial. Like, what's one that people need to pause this pod? Well, don't pause it totally. Play it at the same time.
Oh yeah.
The numero uno song of Atrial.
Okay. So that's a hard one. I love all of them. They're all my kids. But I mean, most people whenever they hear is the song that they go with is Havoc. That's our biggest one. And then our last song we released back in January called Shatter Me, which is more towards the style we're starting to go for. That one's done really well too.
Yeah.
So it's I would say check out Havoc first and then dabble into Shatter Me, and it'll you know what you'll find some bangers.
Yeah. You know, I've been interviewing you for all of 2 minutes, and I can already tell how humble you are. It's just it comes right across the screen. So,
I
I just
haven't.
want to give you your flowers right off the top there. I can tell.
I appreciate that. I don't feel like I've earned any type of
No,
ego.
but I can just
any,
tell I'm pretty
yeah.
good with bilingual. I went to college for like communications,
Hmm.
and I can just tell when people are like humble or, or not humble. And you lean
Yeah.
on humility, so credit
I
there.
appreciate
Um
that.
let's talk about, before we get to Smile, let's talk about the one that you previously mentioned, and that I used for the promo of this podcast. You want to tell
Yeah,
everybody
Miss.
about that song? Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll tell
What's
you about Miss Reaper.
the star, like, what was the creative process, the whole nine?
Man, you know, so I don't even know where to begin with this. First of all, it's the song that I like the least of mine, but it was just the one that managed to pop off.
Bro, it's
I
sick.
know that the views say different, but
Forever and
artistically, I'm like,
ever, rest in peace to us together. Like, that's like everybody's ex, like the week after.
I know it.
When
It
people
kind of
are like,
is. Oh,
going to bars and stuff, and getting over not texting the person 100 times now because
that's
they
kind of
can't.
what I mean. That you're not completely wrong in what the song's about. The song is kind of like I would call it, you know, Miss Reaper is kind of like a symbol for like addiction, I guess you could say. But in many senses, it can be like you're addicted to a person,
Yeah.
um, and you know, basically, whenever I was writing that song, you know, I was with a lovely girl who, it was difficult. She had her own, issues and everything like that, and you know, it was pretty much just like, uh, if we stay together and I want to do what I want to do, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, burn here.
Deuces.
I'm not gonna.
Oh,
It's not gonna
oh,
have. It's not gonna work out. It's either we're going down together or I've got to let it go. And truth be told, you can argue that wasn't the best decision, but sometimes you just got to do what's best for you,
yeah.
especially when you have a dream.
I've, I've had plenty of mess ups on my side, so I not saying it was on yours, but I'm just saying I know both sides of the coin. So, you know, I'm not gonna say one of the corny one-liners, but you get the one-liner I'm gonna say. Everything is,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
meant to be. Don't you get tired of those one-liners? But
You know,
I'm a '90s. Well, I was born late '80s. I'm old, so I remember all of the one-liners and the
oh, yeah.
before Grimzlee. I'm from the age of a thing called MySpace. You probably don't you know what it is,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it
I
was
had
crazy,
one.
man. You did? Okay,
Yeah.
so the top eight,
Yes.
like
Yes.
if people did that nowadays, they'd be canceled.
They would be like, and I remember like I was 10 when I had one. I'm
Yeah,
26 now.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah,
26. And so I was
yeah.
like on the very end of
Yeah,
it, I
okay,
guess you'd say.
okay. Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I just
No,
didn't
no.
know you scream 20s to me. So I know that
Yeah,
was the
yeah. Well, I'm appreciative that I got to experience the end of it because it
I
was such a
mean,
cool era.
we I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole too much, but a lot of hookups happened. Not that I would
I can't
know,
say that's what I was
not
doing on there.
not that I would know, Grimsley. Um, what are some hobbies you like doing, man? You seem pretty chill.
Dude, it's for me, it's music 90% of the time.
Really? It's
And like I've I get in and out of it. I'm hardcore into the gym a lot of times, and I don't know. I seems to like I go through so many
what
different phases. I get really into video games
Well,
sometimes
do you
and
have a
into
Mount Rush?
racing.
You have a Mount Rushmore of rock music?
Ooh, oh, we can do that. We can do that. So,
Slipknot,
well, oh yeah. Well, you're about to that. You nailed it on the head.
Ozzy
Slipknot's my favorite.
Osbourne,
Yeah, Slipknot is my favorite band, and I always will be.
Nirvana,
Yeah, yeah. I would put Slipknot's gonna be number one. Anybody who knows me knows Slipknot is the peak.
Wait, that was kind of a throw at the dartboard, so to speak. I
Oh
nailed it.
no
I
no no
nailed it
no!
on the first
You
try.
nailed it, man. You nailed it. I
Well,
had so
don't face me in real darts because you'd get an easy win.
okay,
Anyways,
okay. We have a dartboard outside right now that we like. We're getting good at it.
yeah.
We
So
have to put up a good
Slipknot,
fight. But
man.
anyway,
What's the song? What's like the song that drew you into them, man?
it's hilarious whenever I tell this story, but it's par for the course. Guitar Hero 3 came out in
Yeah.
2006.
Okay.
Before I Forget was on it. And that was my favorite song that I played over and over and over. And
Really?
thankfully, yeah, one of my best friends to this day, Christopher, who's also the drummer for my band Atrial,
Yeah.
he was always into metal, and he had like a cousin that was super into it and would burn him CDs, and they were on it. And then he like, oh, you like Slipknot? Because we played Guitar Hero together. And then he showed me Korn, and he showed me Rob Zombie and
Dude.
him and all these other bands, kind of
Dude, I
rock,
haven't
kind of
heard
like,
him in a while.
yeah.
That's funny that we're talking about like relationship kind of stuff because one of my ex-girlfriends, many ex-girlfriends, unfortunately, introduced me to him.
Listen, him
Finnish,
has
right?
some bangers.
Finnish. They're a Finnish
Yeah,
band, I thought.
they're a Finnish
Yeah,
band.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she told me
They
she wanted that for like her birthday, a shirt. And I got it shipped from like Finland or some shit.
well, they have the coolest logo of all
Or
time. The
like overseas.
heartagram.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
yeah,
heartagram is so cool.
yeah,
I wish I could have a logo like that just sticks out forever,
yeah. Well, let's sorry for getting off course. Let's finish the Slipknot discussion.
Oh yeah, but so Slipknot, I would say they're my favorite band. They're Before I Forget, it's probably one of my favorite songs. Anything off of Volume 3, that entire album did.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that the more I put out, you're gonna hear elements of that album in what I do. I think you maybe can hear a little bit of it now. It's just but it's Slipknot, it's Deftones.
Oh man, changes.
Yeah,
Yo, I just
Changes.
like sip one of this and like changes on repeat, bro.
It's a vibe, man. Like it.
You
There's no
need to
other song
listen
like it.
to Hum. Have you listened to
Hum.
them? Yeah, they're a band
Mm-mm.
out of Illinois. They're like Deftones got their inspiration from them.
Is it?
They're some people think they're like a one-hit wonder. It's my personal like favorite song of
Mhm.
all time is Stars by Hum. I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast. Check it out.
Okay,
It's like
is it just HUM?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, oh, just making sure. It could be HUMM, HUMB.
Yeah,
Okay.
true. Good point. Good point. Um, prepare to rock your socks off, Grimzlee.
Dude, I mean that I need some more
They were on
inspiration.
Howard Stern in the 90s. Not the Howard Stern that got canceled partially, but the old Howard Stern
Oh yeah.
that got in trouble for some of the stuff he was doing. That Howard Stern
Yeah.
when band but for everything that I am condemning for the stuff that he got in trouble with. Don't cancel me, people. I think he did some,
I don't even
not
know what he
so
did.
nice. We'll move.
No, we
We'll
don't have to get
move.
into it.
Now that's 30-year-old and up stuff. I'm
Yeah,
kidding. I'm kidding. Most people that have done research on Stern know, but they have to dig a little bit. But anyways, some of his shows were PG-13. And that's being generous. No, that's being generous. But in his defense, he did give platforms to people. And he had Hum and Stars, and the drummer, that video is on YouTube. It's got like 1 million views or something. The drummer is literally playing in the hallway of the studio. Yeah, because it's not like the Howard
it's not
Stern
small.
now with Sirius XM. It was
Yeah.
some like small ass studio, and the drummer's just like going in like in the hallway. It's classic.
I mean, I'm down to watch it. I
But
remember like
Deftones
yeah.
credits them, and then like Nirvana was like the king of that like shoegaze era, like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Something in the
mean?
Way by Nirvana helped inspire Break In Me, my very first song, that I came out with because that Batman movie came out like January last year, and Something in the Way.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, I
is it
remember that
oh
movie
yeah.
that came out. Yeah, I mean, I'm all into that. We would go into the rabbit hole if we went on about that series. We can talk about are you familiar with all those movies? Like how far back do you go with the Batman, like the 80s one or
No,
The
I
Joker
only go
standalone or
Christian Bale onward. Christian Bale
okay.
onward.
So
That was
did you saw the one with Heath Ledger?
oh yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah, yeah.
saw it whenever it came
We
out when I
can
was little and shit
how about
now.
we in the tease everybody in the podcast with a Batman discussion at the end? That'd be cool. Let's do
I
that.
don't know how much I can contribute, but I'm down to try. I'm
We can
down to
try. We
try.
can try. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Speaking of teasing, I teased a bunch of people. I don't know how far we're in, but let's talk about it. Smile. It's
Yes. Yeah.
again, crazy song, 1.3 thousand views. And you did this like in June, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
Crazy.
came out June 2nd, so a month and a couple days.
In your
Yeah.
humble opinion,
Uh-huh.
what do you think caused the spike so quick? Besides you being super talented, what's the vibe that you think drew to people? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, with Smile, I think at this point it's kind of like maybe I'm just getting a return on my investment
Is it
from like
is it
Miss
the
Reaper.
electro pop vibes? Is it the rock vibes?
I think it's more of the rock vibes. I think it's like my sound has like a nostalgic feel, I guess, a bit to it, but also I think it incorporates a lot of new stuff. Like, and Smile just kind of, I don't know, just kind of like engulfs like the sound of Grimzlee is what I'm gonna call it. It's like kind of melancholy yet hopeful, and also just relatable lyrics to an extent. I think kind of like
Yeah.
some of them are pretty
Yeah.
exclusive to me, but yeah,
Yeah, like do you think of me when like essentially shit hits the fan?
yeah,
Yeah. 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 That sort of stuff.
yeah,
Talk about the
yeah.
background of that, man. How did it start?
That song it was in the pot for a while, but I mean that was just another one of those, relationship songs. I have it like that and Miss Reaper are the two that are kind of like
All right.
relationship esque.
All
Yeah,
right,
and
I trust you. You're not the Taylor Swift of rock music, are you?
no, 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 no,
I'm
definitely not.
kidding. I'm
Definitely
kidding.
not.
Shout out to
I
Tay Tay. She's
hey,
killing it.
hey,
She's killing it.
yeah. But I don't know, it's just kind of like just wrote about how I felt, and that's just what happened. It's really cringy to talk about that, like why I mean why I wrote it and everything. But yeah, I just had a relationship that was kind of a relationship that was weird, and pretty much I just wrote about them, and here we
Yeah, I
are.
hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Uh,
Life in South Carolina, how was
yeah,
it?
man.
Like humble beginnings. Did you like talk about that, man?
Well, I mean, I lived my first 24 years of life there, and I got all the good out of that I could. It was I love it there. I do. I think it's a really slow
What
pace.
part again? Sorry, what part?
It's called Hartsville, South
Okay.
Carolina. It's a small little
Okay.
town. It's got like
Yeah.
5,000 people.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
kind of
I
uh
partied in Florence one time over
oh,
there
dude,
in
that's
South
right
Carolina.
down the road. That's right down the
Yeah,
road. That's 30
yeah.
minutes down the street.
I don't remember her name anymore, Grimzlee, but you know,
It's probably for the
there was a
best.
weekend.
You probably went to Francis Marion if you
I
partied
was
like that.
no, I no, it was an Olive Garden. I'm
Oh, it was
kidding.
an Olive Garden.
I'm
See,
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well,
I
kind of.
went to
We
college
did
in
go there. We did
Florence.
go to the one off the interstate. I forgot the interstate name, but yeah, yeah, it was a hotel stay. You know.
Yeah, well, Francis Marion is like where I went to college. It's a
Yeah,
university over there.
that's
And it's
cool.
a
That's cool.
cool spot.
You still I bet all your like childhood friends are all like stoked for your success, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Um, all the people I've really kept close are like all musicians and artists like me, and like and really it's all the people in my band, and we all
Okay,
support each
okay.
other a
So that
lot.
you guys grew up together and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, got had some late nights with and the whole nine, huh?
Oh yeah. For sure. I mean, like so Christopher, the drummer for Atrial, we've known each other
Yeah,
since
talk
we were
about the
like,
names. Sorry, I didn't
yeah,
mean to
yeah.
cut you off, but
So
talk
so
about the names.
yeah. So Christopher is the drummer. He we've been friends since we were like 4 or 5 years old. Like it's been just forever. And I have Clayton, who me and Christopher met in seventh grade in middle school. And then I met the rest of Atrial the beginning of college. Yeah, so 8 years ago. And and then and that's Zeb and Matthew. Matthew's the lead singer and Zeb is our bassist. And yeah, and then I also have my other roommate here, Blake, who went to school with me, who also does music, and he has done so much stuff with us in the past too. He's pretty much an honorary sixth member.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Any stories that you can disclose on the podcast?
Man, we have a few. So I guess I'll talk about like during COVID, like there were no shows going on at all. We were, it sucked, but everybody wanted to play. And there was this place called the Melon Barn in Greenville, and it's literally a barn. But it was like a little rundown. It was like a kind of like, hey, keep it to yourself about this venue type of thing.
Yeah,
And
I
we
hear
went
you.
out there
I've been to a few
and
of those.
yeah, and we ended up having one of the most insane like sets of our life. Not because like we played great, but because it was like a few hundred kids came out, not really just for us, but for all these other, just to get out. And
Mhm.
the whole building was shaking. Like there isn't a video on our Instagram somewhere of just the people were swinging from the rafters. People were falling onto the stage, but damn, was I having fun. Uh,
Mhm.
it's stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. That's locked in the memory bank forever. Then
Yeah.
probably I don't know. There's so many different ones, but there's another one where our last show we did in Florence, South Carolina.
That's
Our drummer,
serendipity there.
yeah, our drummer Christopher, who at the time he was playing bass for us for a little while.
Hmm.
Um, we were packing up our stuff and everything, and we were just walking back in. And me and Clayton had just walked inside, and all of a sudden, like he got a gun pulled on him outside and everything, and like that's just how that spot was. It was one of the worst spots in that you could play. It was a bad venue. We had fun though. But anyway, he ended up like running away really quick once somebody else came outside. But
Hmm.
that just was like that was the nail in the coffin that we are not playing in Florence, or at least at that spot ever
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Well, we went over Smile, Miss Reaper,
Yeah, man.
and what was the one that we haven't mentioned yet that you want to talk about? Like, is there one
Well, I
there
mean, there's
like you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I know you've
yeah,
done a
yeah.
lot of stuff, but what's one that I'm off the mark on or haven't? Like, why didn't you talked about this one, man?
No, no, dude. It's okay. So, I mean, I do want to talk about the next one I have coming out called Time
Okay.
to Pray. That comes out July 21st. I think it's the 5th now. 6th. It's the
Hmm.
6th. And it comes out on the 21st. I have a music video that we're doing for it, and
Hmm.
that song is about being prey to time, I guess you could say, and just how time is coming after you, and the Grim Reaper waits for no one. And it's like
Hmm.
has some like hyper pop elements, I guess, and like some just it's rock and electronic, which is I don't know. There's a lot of electronic stuff in there because I grew up. I listened to a lot of EDM and whatnot too. And it
Really?
was
Me too, dude. I got drunk one night and my buddy was like, hey, you want to go see this? I forgot the name of it, but it was basically just DJs the whole night, bro. And I was not one of them, but like people were like just out of their minds on certain substances.
Yeah.
And like I was not, but it was just like people were like in a trance. And you know what I'm talking about? Like ones where like there's literally the whole DJ scene from I was in Richmond, Virginia for a while. Um
It's probably it's like a rave scene or something.
and there was literally
Maybe.
like a lineup of like 10 DJs that were just spinning. No
That's
lyrics
cool.
and just
I'm
spinning like trippy like trance shit.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've only seen a few DJ sets, I guess, and they've always been a good time.
Yeah.
But I prefer a live
What kind of
band.
EDM are we talking about? Like Skrillex or Marshmello, or that's the mainstream kind of stuff? Or are we talking about like the
Yeah,
underground kind of stuff?
it wasn't really underground stuff. I'm not really ashamed to admit it. I had a hardcore chain smokers phase. It's kind of like lame to say it out loud,
Closer,
but
I
I
like
think
closer. I like
oh
closer.
yeah,
That's a good song.
it came out like when I was in college, and that song hit like no other. Like it was just
It hit like a certain substance.
yeah,
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 something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
But it was so good, and I just started following them from there. And I was like, these guys are really good. And I tried to make electronic music for a while back in the day, and I
yeah. EDM.
sucked at it. Yeah, but the
Um,
reason the reason I sucked at it isn't because of any other reason other than I guess I wasn't really passionate about it. I loved rock music more than
you still
anything,
listen
so
to it
it's like
now?
not really. I haven't
No.
listened to EDM stuff really at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, dude.
Well, if you want
I'm
to get back into it, there's a previous artist I've had on the podcast, Sophia
mhm.
Price. You should
Okay.
check her out.
Okay.
She's a talented artist. She does EDM and stuff like that.
I'm down to do it.
That's
I'll check
Prize is
her out.
like Prise. She's pretty,
Prise.
yeah, like prize, but with the S instead of a Z.
I dig
Yeah,
it. That's
so
cool.
she's pretty cheap plug for her, you know. But you should check her stuff out. As should everybody listening to this.
Yeah,
Um,
check it out.
so social media, where can people find you?
Well, man, you can find me everywhere at I am Grimzlee. It's on everything. And of
Yeah.
course, like if you want to find me on Spotify or any other streaming services, it's just Grimzlee, Grimzlee. And
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of stuff coming out. Every 6 weeks from here on out, it's gonna be new music. I have a new single coming out the 21st of July, and then
Yeah.
an album coming after that. And
Yeah.
it's gonna slap.
I hear you. I hear you. Are you on TikTok, like Twitter?
Dude,
Well, now it's Threads. Did you hear about that? Instagram's going to
I got my
Threads.
thread account today.
Yeah,
Got my
yeah,
thread
yeah.
account today.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
but
too. I feel like half the world moved together about 30 minutes ago.
they really did. I mean, it was offered, and at this point, as an artist, I'm like, I need to just go ahead and secure my account and everything. Even if I never use it, I need to have it.
Mark
But yeah,
Zuckerberg and all them, man. Do you hear they're gonna fight Elon Musk and Zuckerberg? I don't know if it's really gonna happen,
I think that
but
would be. I would
that's
watch that. I would
Zuckerberg
watch
would
that
kick
so
his
hard.
ass because he's the younger
Yo,
one.
yeah,
And
I see Zuckerberg rolling with people like Lex Friedman and all of them. I don't know if you
Elon
watch
Musk,
him. He's
though, I think his like stronger build, but
I I
age trumps a lot of stuff.
I still want to give it to the lizard man. I want to give it to Zuckerberg. I want to give
Yeah,
it to him. I kind of
yeah.
want to see what he can do. I want. I think that would be. I would pay. They put that on pay-per-view. I would watch it for sure.
Hmm.
I'd pay good money for
Yeah.
it.
Any advice to the up and coming artists? Because there's tons of them, and especially in Nashville.
My God, man, all I gotta say is TikTok, TikTok,
Social
TikTok. It is
media,
such
the
a just
social
copy
media,
other
the hell out
artists.
of everything.
Yeah, well, I mean that's how I've gotten to where I am. Like I haven't done any ads.
Spotify and
Yeah, like I mean I haven't done any ads for my stuff. It's just posting memes with my song, and then it just took off. And yeah, so pretty much it's just a ongoing thing from from there. If you
yeah.
just keep posting and are consistent, and if you see what other people are doing and it's working for them, copy it and do
Mm-hmm.
it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happens. Because no other artist cares about their TikTok content. They just care about getting their music heard. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
copy somebody else, no, they don't care. It's not their
Yeah.
song.
Hey man, feel free to bring the rest of the crew on to the podcast next time, man.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the whole band.
Oh, dude, we could absolutely do that, and they would also be down. I know we're gonna probably Atrial's coming back big this fall in like the
Yeah.
September,
Or
October
obviously,
range.
whenever you want to promote something,
Yeah.
feel
Oh,
free, man.
dude, yeah. Yeah, definitely. We're down. We're gonna get a lot heavier with the band stuff, and Grimzlee's gonna keep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep kicking ass. I just did my
Sure.
very first show
Yeah.
on Monday as Grimzlee, and that was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. That slipped my mind.
Yeah,
I was actually going to ask you about that.
yeah.
How
It
was
was
the
in Baltimore.
how was the vibe?
Oh, dude, awesome, awesome. It was so crazy that I've for like all the shows I've done in the past, it's always been
Mm-hmm.
like people we kind of know and our social media friends with and stuff that come out. But this was like the first time I had people come out that like they just know my music and just wanted to come and
Mm-hmm.
see me and paid for tickets. That is
There you go,
wild,
man.
you know. So that was worth every bit of it. I mean, it
Yeah.
was expensive to get out
Yeah.
there and play
Sure,
and
the whole
everything.
nine and
Yeah, but I mean, we had a good time, man. Like we partied hard. It was a good set. It was just me and my guitarist Clayton.
mm,
We just went out there and jammed. Next shows though are gonna be here in Nashville, and it's gonna be a full band, and those are gonna kick ass. I'm feeling pretty confident right now with it, but I'm stoked, man. These shows are gonna get bigger and bigger, and I'm just gonna keep promoting the mess out of them. I'm gonna make something
yeah,
happen.
man. Well, shout out to Becky for,
Shout
linking
out
us
Becky.
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Grimsley, this was awesome. Thanks, man.
of course. Thank you, man. I appreciate you
Um,
having me on.
Thanks everybody for listening to another episode of the Sensibly Cynical podcast. Take care, everybody. Peace.